More than 2 years have passed since Justin O released the first songs from Welcome to the City of Oz, and now listening to the whole thing from beginning to end was an experience that I enjoyed a lot. It's so crazy to think about like how I was 18 when these first singles were released back in the summer 2018, and I loved them. I absolutely loved them when they came out. The first songs, which are "She's a Killer," "Loving Her," "Loving You," and "You and Me." Those songs. I just love them, and well, now like hearing the whole thing put things in a little bit more perspective. So all those songs that Justin O has released take now the form of a conceptual album that talks about a lot of things. Like it has so many themes going through it, and I loved it. And I'm going to discuss it in a little bit. So starting out with the first songs that were released, which I enjoyed a lot, and then I'll discuss some of the newer songs, and I'll wrap up with discussing the album as a whole and how like what it means to me now that that it has reached its conclusion. So let's start with the first songs, which are "She's a Killer" and "You and Me," "Loving Her," "Loving You," and all those. Okay, so here we go.
Loving her makes loving you harder. And far away, I'm loving you stronger now.
I remember hearing "She's a Killer" for the first time and like feeling so many different things at once. The song is pretty catchy, like it's so fun to listen to, and it was super impressive to hear Justin O's debut on the label Monster Cat, which I enjoy a lot. And also that same summer, he released another song called "Rearview Mirror," which unfortunately it's not included in the album, which is a shame because I really love that song, and I would have loved to see it with the rest of the others. However, I like the style he sets. Kind of like the futuristic, kind of like mechanical sounds he introduces, along with really catchy tunes. That's the first thing I noticed with these new songs. And over time, I grew up I became a fan of Justin O's work. I listened to some of his other songs, and over the next like year and a half, he released a couple really amazing bangers, which are notably "You and Me." That was released like a little later, and it carries like the feeling from those like the first songs, and I really enjoy like these tunes. They're so good, and I have like I feel like they have a really good place in the album. So it was funny because like after the first songs, Justin O took like a kind of like a more or less like a hiatus. So he kind of like stopped releasing songs for a while, and I guess he was busy because he collaborated with some really good artists, which I'll discuss next. So I'm becoming I'll discuss like some of the really good collaborations he's made with Silent, Rogue, and Nitrofun, some others, and like talk a little bit about those songs.
Cool, we smile like we mean it for a minute.
During the late part of 2019 and the early part of 2020, Justin O made some great songs with a couple artists that I know and love too. Notably, Silent, which he made the song "Assemble." I think this is a really heavy song. It's really awesome. It combines the best parts of both artists. Silent, which I love a lot. He's pretty much like a never say die artist until he released an album last year on Monster Cat, and I feel like his sound complements Justin O's sound really well. And the other song is Rogue, "Feel Alright." So "Feel Alright" features heavily Rogue's vocals, which are pretty good. I think Rogue is one of the best singers in the whole label, and the song itself is pretty catchy. It was before introduced in Monster Cat's 8-year anniversary. That's a great album, by the way. You should listen to it right now. But this song is so fun to listen to, and I think it's a pretty interesting collaboration. But I feel like it fits really well into the album. And finally, Nitro Fun. He made Kill Switch with Nitro Fun, and I think that song is super fun. So that's one of the more recent songs. I feel like that's a really like interesting song because it Nitro Fun kind of has changed his sound over the years. Like he used to be like more kind of like cheery 8-bit, kind of like chiptune sounds when he started. And like I've seen him grown as an artist over the years, and I'm glad he is not afraid to introduce some heavier sounds into his music. So Kill Switch is pretty fun. It's kind of heavy. It has like some mid tempo vibes, like some really kind of like tech sounding synths going on, and it's a pretty good song. It's a pretty good song. So, anyways, like I'm gonna kind of talk a little bit about the album as a whole and like its major themes and the song that was also released today, which was completely unexpected. I did not expect this song at all. And it was a great way to wrap up the whole album. And okay, so I'll discuss it right now. So today we've been blessed with She's a Killer Part 2, which is so amazing because it has like two of my favorite drum and bass artists of all time, which are Faint and Masare, which are super awesome. You should check them out. They each have like really good sound design, and they're both so different from each other. Like they both make drum and bass, but their styles are so different. Like Masare is more like on the melodic side, and Faint is more saying like he has like more melodic sounds too, but he's a little bit more varied. Like he's released on a bunch of different labels. He makes he's made some liquid drum and bass before, some heavier stuff, some kind of like smooth chill sounds. But they come together to create this great second part to the song I know and love, She's a Killer. So this is basically like a more or less like a remix of the song, like a drum and bass reimagination of She's a Killer. And I loved it. I think it's one of my favorite songs of this year. It's just so interesting to see like the drum. I feel like it's like many artists do it, like the make a drum and bass version of or like some of their or other songs. But this song works so well. Like I really enjoyed She's a Killer Part 2, and I hope to see more of like Faint on the label because I haven't seen him in like a long time with new songs and stuff. And Masare is always gonna keep releasing stuff. Like he's been killing it all year and all 2019. So I'm happy about it. I'm happy this album finally saw the light of day. We've seen like a lot of updates from Justin O. Like like people asking, oh, when is the album coming out? When is the album coming out? And well, I mean, he had plans like to make a tour and like have like a live show to go with the album. And I'm sad that didn't happen. I would have loved to see that, but it still is a great work of art, and it's a really fun. It has a really fun theme. Like the City of Oz. It has like some really interesting stuff going on, like themes of like sci-fi stuff, and I'm always down for that. I'm always down for those kind of albums that I feel like there's a story underneath it. But anyways, I'm gonna give Welcome to the City of Oz an 85 out of 100. I think it's a great album. I'd love to see more of Justin O in the future, in and out of Monstercat, because he's a really good artist. He's a really good guy, and I feel like everyone will enjoy his music. Like I think he's gonna do a lot of great things in the future. So anyways, that is my review of Welcome to the City of Oz. And if you liked it, drop a like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. See ya.